What if I told you that you could spend 10 minutes doing a literature review for 50 studies with AI? So we're going to look at that, and we're going to look at how these tools can be used for research. Okay, so what we'll cover here basically is why is AI transforming research. We'll look at Claude for deep analysis. This is like my favorite tool. We'll look at Google Gemini for multimodal research. We'll look at NotebookLM for ground source insights. We'll look at Perplexity AI for real-time web search. We'll also look at Elicit for academic literature review. So, and also we'll look at which tool you use and when. Okay, so now why is AI transforming research? Like I said, AI is faster when it comes to synthesis, then also for deeper insights and also for better decision. Right now we are dealing with reports coming late and people had already been impacted. Okay, we spend so much time analyzing and trying to perfect this at the expense of the lives out there that is dependent on the data that we collected for decision making, right? So now with AI, that will be faster, deeper, and better decision. Okay. So the challenge that we have basically, me working in the global health research, the challenge that I have most of the times, I spend 80% of my time to find and read this literature. When AI can do it 5 times faster when it comes to literature synthesis, right? So that is something that I, spend most of my time to. And then the good thing about all these 5 tools that I'm going to share is majority, they are very free. Unless if you want to get a paid version, but you can use the basics for a start, which is free, right? Okay, now 4 ways in which AI supercharges research. So the first thing that you appreciate AI for in research is literature discovery and synthesis, right? So here AI helps us to find, summarize, and compare dozens of academic papers in minutes, not in days, because back in the day you spend 2 weeks just doing literature review, but now you can do it in minutes, and your literature review is done. Then source grounded analysis. When you upload your documents, ask AI to extract insights, quotes, and themes. It will be able to do that. Draft, report writing and structuring. So with AI, you can be able to draft research questions, methodology sections, and also find narratives and abstracts. That's that. You don't have to, stress yourself when AI can do that. Real-time evidence gathering. So with AI, you can be able to search live on the web for current data, recent studies, and even gray literature instantly. Okay, that is something that you do. Now, let's get into the type of tools, the type of AI tools that you can use. So one of my favorite is Claude AI. It's used for deeper reasoning and also for long documents and research analysis. You can use this for that, right? So the Claude is free, but there is also a pro version where you pay, right? And what does Claude do the best for research? What I've used Claude, basically, I've used it to read and analyze very long documents that have over 200 tokens, right? And I've also used Claude to synthesize some of the complex research findings. Maybe there's a paper that I'm working on and the findings are a bit complex. I would want just it to, make it better or help me understand so that everybody also can understand, because as a researcher, if you don't understand your research, then nobody will understand it, right? So with AI, it can help you to refine and understand exactly what you're trying to solve, right? Then you can also ask some of the follow-up questions on these papers. For example, you upload the paper and you can ask follow-ups. So what were the gaps of this literature? What were the gaps of this study? So that you build from there to strengthen your proposal or whatever that you are working on, right? Then also it can help us compare multiple sources side by side and also explain some of the context in a non-technical way, right? Now, why researchers choose Claude? The best, or what I've seen and why I've appreciated Claude, is because it has the largest context window. You can read the whole full report on Claude. It's also strong for reasoning ambiguous data. Okay, it's also transparency about uncertainty and also the limits that it may have, right? Then it's also excellent at academic writing. If you are doing an academic research, please, Claude is your best friend. Claude is your mentor. Claude is your professor. So listen to Claude and use it. And also, it's also ideal for literature review and also meta-analysis. And actually, systematic review for that, you can also use Claude, right? Then, Claude, research prompt examples. You're in Claude, you're a student, you are a researcher, you're working in public health, or you're working in the climate space. This is a prompt that you can use for literature synthesis, right? I've uploaded 3 evaluation reports on climate adaptation in Southern Africa. Please, number 1, identify the common themes across all the 3 documents or reports. Highlight any contradictions. Then the 3rd one, summarize the key gaps. AI will give you what you've just given it. Then, let's say you want to do a methodology write-up. Help me write a mixed method research methodology section for a study on smallholder farmers' resilience in Zambia. Include a sampling strategy, data collection tools, and analysis approach. That's it. And it will help you write that. Your duty now as a researcher is to refine what AI has given you. You don't take as it is, but you refine it, okay? By making some edits and also just some clarifications where necessary. So that is something that you need to do about Claude. We move to Gemini, Google Gemini, which is a multimodal research. It's used for text, image, data, and also Google. The good thing about it is that Google integration component. So if you're working in a Google Doc, you can have access to Google Gemini just directly in your Google Doc and ask questions while you're writing your paper. That's the beauty about it. Okay. So what's best it for research? Analyze images. You are in the field, you're a farmer, you are doing a farmer in agriculture, you can capture those images and drop them on Google Gemini and ask it to analyze these images. Okay, that's what it can do. It can also generate charts and infographics. The other thing it can also use to search Google Scholar and some of the recent web sources. It's also integrated in the Google Doc and Google Sheet. So if you're stuck as you're writing your paper, you can just, prompt it and then to help you to just refine what you are working on. Then you can also summarize YouTube research videos. Like this video, you can use it to summarize it and then it will give you a 1-page summary, right? Then it can also help process the PDF and presentation slides. Then the other thing, just the workflow of Google, you can upload your PDF, ask questions, paste the data table, request for trends analysis, open Google Doc. You can use the Gemini on the sidebar. Ask for citations from Google Scholar links, and it's available, it's free. You can use it for your work, right? Then some of the prompts that you can use, for example, if you want to do any data interpretations, you can say, okay, I've pasted the table here. Look at this table, identify top 3 trends and not an outlier, suggest 2 hypotheses to explain the findings, then format as a research memo. It will do that. Simple as that. Don't stress yourself when AI can help you solve some of those problems. Literature search. Search for recent peer-reviewed studies, 2020-2026 on community-based climate adaptation in East Africa. Then summarize the key 5 studies with authors, years, and main findings. That's that. That's your literature search. It will pull out the studies that have been done in the last 5 months, in the 5 years, on climate adaptations, and give you exactly what you've told it. Okay, so that is how you use Google Gemini. And then another product of Google, which is Google Notebook, your AI research assistant. It only uses your sources. So if you give it 100 sources, you give it 50 sources, it will work with what you've given it. Okay, so what this works, what it does the best, what I love about Google Notebook is that you can upload 50 sources per notebook, right? And then ask questions about the page or the sources that you've cited, you've uploaded, right? And then the other thing that you can also do, you can generate audio podcast summaries of what you've put across. Then it can also create study guides and frequent asked questions from the documents that you have shared, right? It can also help identify the key themes across multiple documents. And then the other thing is that it has 0 hallucination risk on uploaded content. It does not generate anything. It works with what you have uploaded. So there is 0 hallucination, chances of hallucination there. Then why is it unique? It only uses the sources that you provide. Okay. Then the other thing also, and just to mention, is that you can also ask it to search on the web. When it searches on the web, it's going to pull out different sources across multiple websites. And then from there, now you can now start asking it about those sources, right? It's perfect basically if you want to do a literature review and also getting your grade literature reports. It's completely free. It's very free, and make use of it. Okay, so here's how it works, right? With the notebook, you're going to upload your 50 sources, right? You upload your 50 sources, PDFs, it could be links, it could be Google Docs. Then you ask questions. What are the key findings from maybe 10 from X across all the sources, right? Depending on what study you're looking at, you can ask it. Maybe you've uploaded 50 papers on HIV. You want to know what are some of the key findings across these sources on HIV infections, on HIV new infections. You can ask it. It will be able to generate that. Then the other thing that you can also do is you can generate a guide, auto create study guide. It can also give the frequent asked questions, and then also even a timeline from all your sources, right? Then it can also help you come up with an audio overview, generate a podcast, tell a story, and then listen while commuting, right? Then you can also copy cited references into your research report. That's how you work with Gemini. Perplexity also, though I don't use it that much. I used to use it when it came out, but right now I'm more into Claude and Google. So Perplexity also is a very nice tool for your real-time web research with citations. Okay, so what is it best for? You can search live for current research. A paper that is being produced, that has been published, you see it. It was published yesterday. You see it when you search using Perplexity, right? It's also able to answer questions, includes numbers, also the citations, right? It also accesses academic databases. That's if you pay a paid version, right? You can also do a follow-up question in one conversation, search for grade reports and NGO reports, find recent policy documents and data. What makes it unique? Real-time results, not limited to training data. Transparent sourcing on every answer. Academic mode search on these scholarly papers. It's also great for rapid evidence review, faster for Google research queries, right? An example that you can use for, let's say you want to use Perplexity for your research. So you can ask it, so look, evidence scoping, just want to see what's there out there. What does the recent evidence 2022-2026 say about the effectiveness of cash transfer programs for food security in sub-Saharan Africa? Include citation links. It will be able to generate that. Okay. Then policy research. Find the latest WHO and UN on child nutrition indicators in Zambia. Summarize the key statistics and provide direct link to the source documents. That is what it will do. Exactly what you've just pasted. Now, that's it about Perplexity. Now we come to the mother of literature reviews, which is Elicit. Okay, so with Elicit, it's basically it's best for systematic reviews, academic paper extractions, and research flow automation. You can search 200 million academic papers instantly, extract data from papers into tables, and find studies by concept, not just by keywords. Summarize these abstracts and methodology section. You can even identify randomized control trial, systematic review, export findings to CSV or Zotora. Okay. Now, why is it unique for M&E? It's building specific evidence for synthesis, extracts populations, intervention, and outcome, right? It's great for impact evaluation literature. That is what Elicit can do. Okay. Now, looking at the research workflow, if you're using Elicit, so the first thing that you must do is you define your question. Enter your question your research question in plain language in Elicit, right? Then you search for papers. So what Elicit will do is that it's going to search around 200 million papers, right? And then you filter. Your duty now is just filter by year and also by type. Then you extract that data, auto-extract the outcomes, the population, the methods into a table. Then summarize. Get AI summaries for each paper. Based on the key papers that you've selected, now you get those summaries. Then you export to a CSV or PDF for reference or reference manager for a report. Okay, that's how you work when you're working with Elicit. Okay, now which tool should you use? Okay, match the right AI tool for the right AI task. Now we look at the two comparisons and also the research task. Now, if you want to do a literature review, I would recommend use Claude AI, Notebook, and also Elicit. These are the best. Gemini is good and Perplexity is good, but my recommendation is Elicit, Claude AI, and Notebook. Then for analyzing uploaded documents, Claude is the best. Okay, Claude is the best. Notebook is also good, is the best as well. Gemini is good. Perplexity, no, you can't. You can use it, but it won't give you the best. Elicit, no, you can't use it for that. It's mainly for web. Then real-time web search. Gemini is good, is the best actually. Perplexity is also the best. Elicit is limited for like real-time search. It can give us up to date, but not real-time, right? Then for academic paper extractions, Claude is good. Gemini is not so good. Notebook is good. Perplexity is also good, but Elicit is the best. Then for writing, research writing and drafting, Claude is the best. Gemini is also the best. Okay. Then for systematic evidence review, Claude is good. Notebook is good. Perplexity is good, but Elicit is the best tool that you can use for systematic evidence review. Then for audio summaries, Notebook is the best. Okay. Then for policy and gray literature, Perplexity is the best. Claude is good. Gemini is good, but at least Perplexity is the best. Okay. Now, some of the key takeaways, guys, is that there's no single tool that does everything. So you have to use the right tool for each research phase. So let's say, for example, here we talked about literature review. You can pick Claude or Elicit for a literature review. Then still in the same research study, maybe you want to work on your methodology. You can pick maybe Gemini or even Claude, right? Then for your research writing, you can pick Claude. Or for your evidence review, you can pick Elicit. So each tool has its own, each stage of research phase has a very appropriate tool to use, right? So no single tool can be used for the whole entire research. You can use different tools depending on different phase of your research. Okay, so start with Claude plus Notebook, and then upload your documents and then ask those smart questions, right? And it give you, then use Perplexity just for rapid evidence scoping and find current online sources. Then use Elicit for systematic reviews. It extracts data from dozens of papers, right? Then AI, you know what AI does? It amplifies your expertise. Like I said, the output of AI are dependent on you, right? So once that output is out, that's your first draft. It's not your final draft. So review, verify, and add your own insights. So what AI is it's just cutting those unnecessary hours that you have to spend to do this work when you can just do it using AI, right? Thank you. So like I say, use AI to research smarter, not just faster. So if you have any questions, you can email me at mwalemike23@gmail.com, or you can check out my YouTube channel, which is Mwale Mike Mel.